This video contains a truth that has changed the lives of many people. If you are having health problems and have ever felt stuck, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment in the comment section so we can share useful knowledge together. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgotten why you went there in the first place? You stand there, staring at the wall, hoping your brain will catch up and give you a clue. Or maybe you've found yourself searching for the right word during a conversation, only for it to pop into your mind hours later when it's no longer helpful. If any of this sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we get older, it's easy to assume that forgetfulness is just part of the deal, but I want to tell you something that might surprise you. Your brain is still capable of growing, adapting, and thriving, yes, even after 60. The key is knowing how to care for it, and that's exactly what we're going to explore today. I've spent over 30 years working in healthcare across the United States, and I've seen firsthand what works and what doesn't. I've had the privilege of walking alongside thousands of people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, people just like you who wanted more clarity, better memory, and sharper thinking. And the beautiful truth is, it's never too late to start boosting your brain power. So today, I want to talk with you, not lecture you, not overwhelm you, just have an honest, encouraging conversation about 6 simple habits that can help keep your mind sharp and strong. Not complicated routines, not miracle cures, just real, doable changes that can make a world of difference. Now, before we dive in, I want to ask you a small favor. Take a moment and leave a comment below. Share what you're experiencing. Is it memory lapses, trouble focusing, or maybe you just want to stay mentally young for as long as possible? Whatever you're facing, you're not alone. And when you share, not only do you help yourself, you might also help someone else reading the comments who's going through the same thing. All right, ready to get into it? Let's talk about the first brain-boosting habit. Let's start with something that seems so simple. We often forget its power: daily movement. And I'm not talking about running marathons or hitting the gym for hours. I mean regular, gentle movement that gets your heart pumping and your body engaged, like a morning walk, dancing in your kitchen, or stretching with the sunrise. Why is this so important for your brain? Because movement increases blood flow, and that means more oxygen and nutrients reaching your brain cells. It helps reduce inflammation, support memory, and even grow new connections between brain cells. Yes, grow. I once had a patient named Harold who was 74 when he came to see me. He told me, "Doc, my mind just feels foggy lately. I used to be sharp, but now it's like I'm walking around in a cloud." We talked about his routine, and I noticed he'd become much more sedentary since retiring. So I suggested something simple: walk every morning for 20 minutes. That's it. 2 weeks later, he came back with a grin on his face and said, "The cloud is lifting." So if your body's able, get up and move. Nothing fancy, just consistent. And if you can, do it outside. There's something powerful about fresh air and natural light that reawakens both body and brain. Plus, vitamin D from sunlight is crucial for mood and mental function, especially as we age. Now let's talk about something equally important, but often overlooked: mental stimulation. Your brain is a muscle, and like any other muscle, it needs to be used to stay strong. I'm not just talking about crossword puzzles or Sudoku, though those are great too. I mean learning, challenging your brain with something new. That could be picking up a new hobby, learning a language, joining a book club, or even watching documentaries on topics you've never explored before. Let me tell you about Eleanor. She was 68 when she came to a support group I ran, and she told me, "I feel like I'm slowing down, like my brain isn't firing the way it used to." She'd recently stopped working and was feeling a bit lost. I asked her what she'd always wanted to learn, and she said, "I've always wanted to paint, but I never had the time." I encouraged her to go for it, not because painting is magic, but because creativity lights up parts of the brain we don't usually use in everyday tasks. A month later, Eleanor brought one of her paintings to the group. It wasn't about how good it was about what it did for her. She felt focused, inspired, and more in tune with herself. That's the magic of engaging the brain in something new. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be fresh. When you give your brain something to chew on, something that challenges it just enough to keep it alert, You're encouraging the growth of new neural pathways, what we call neuroplasticity. And that, my friend, is one of the most powerful ways to stay sharp, curious, and mentally alive well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. And before we move forward, I want you to take a deep breath and ask yourself this: what's something I've always wanted to try, but never got around to? Maybe it's gardening, or piano, or photography. Maybe it's writing your story down for your grandchildren. Whatever it is, let it be your brain's playground. There's no age limit on curiosity. Now, if you're already moving more and challenging your mind, that's wonderful. Keep going. And if you haven't started yet, that's okay. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Little by little, day by day. But we're just getting started. These are only the first steps in creating a lifestyle that supports not just a healthy brain, but a vibrant, fulfilling life. And trust me, there's so much more you can do. Let's keep this momentum going. Now, let's keep going. Because the truth is, your brain, just like your muscles, thrives on challenge. And that brings us to one of the most overlooked, yet most powerful habits you can adopt: staying mentally active. You see, your brain loves a good puzzle. It lights up when it's learning something new, solving a riddle, or even just figuring out a new recipe. And no, you don't have to start learning a foreign language or master the piano overnight unless you want to, of course. But even small things, like reading a book outside your usual genre or trying a new game on your phone, can make a big difference. I often tell my patients, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be curious. That curiosity is what keeps the brain engaged. It creates new neural connections, strengthens memory, and gives you that sense of joy when you've figured something out. Try crossword puzzles, Sudoku, or online brain training games, whatever feels fun. The key is to enjoy the challenge, not stress over it. Another beautiful habit that's often underestimated is social connection. As we get older, it's easy to fall into routines that keep us physically comfortable but mentally isolated. Yet your brain, especially after 60, craves meaningful connection. It's not just about keeping in touch, it's about engaging. Calling a friend and chatting about your day. Sharing memories with your grandkids. Attending a book club or local gathering where you meet new people. Studies have shown that seniors with active social lives have significantly better memory and cognitive performance than those who are isolated. Why? Because conversations challenge your brain. They require listening, recalling, responding, feeling, all in real time. It's a workout for your mind, and the best part, it feels good. It lifts your mood, lowers stress, and makes life feel a little more vibrant. And while we're talking about feeling vibrant, we cannot ignore the role of movement. Not necessarily exercise in the way we used to think of it, marathons and gym memberships, but gentle, regular movement that gets the blood flowing to your brain. Because when your blood moves, so do your thoughts. Just 20 to 30 minutes of walking a day, a bit of light stretching, or even dancing around your kitchen can spark clarity and focus like nothing else. Many people don't realize this, but physical movement boosts the production of chemicals in the brain that enhance mood, memory, and alertness. It literally helps you think better. And don't worry if your mobility is limited, there are chair exercises, balance routines, and gentle yoga sessions designed specifically for seniors that can be done from the comfort of your own home. So let's take a moment here and reflect. Mental stimulation, social connection, and physical movement. They may sound simple, but they are the lifeblood of a sharper, healthier mind. When you weave these habits into your daily life, not perfectly, but consistently, you'll start to notice something incredible. You'll feel more alive, more alert, more like you again. Next time you catch yourself zoning out in front of the TV or repeating the same routine, pause for a second. Ask yourself, what can I do today that's just a little different? Because it's in that difference, in that stretch outside the comfort zone, that your brain begins to thrive again. Let's keep moving forward, because the next habit we'll talk about is one that many overlook, but it has a powerful, almost magical effect on the aging brain. You've already made it this far, and that says something powerful. It says you care about your brain, your body, and your future. That willingness to take charge, to make small changes, to keep learning. It's what makes all the difference. And if you've been thinking, I'm too old for this, let me remind you, age doesn't limit growth. It reveals strength. And there's one more area where that strength shines brighter than almost anywhere else. In what you feed your brain. You've probably heard the phrase, "You are what you eat." And while it may sound cliché when it comes to brain health, it's absolutely true. What you put on your plate has a direct line to how your brain functions, remembers, and even how it feels emotionally. Let's talk food, real food. The kind that nourishes, not just fills. One of the most brain-loving habits you can embrace right now is choosing foods that protect your memory and reduce inflammation. Because yes, just like your joints, your brain can get inflamed too, and when it does, things like memory fog, mood swings, and even a higher risk of dementia start creeping in. But here's the good news, the right foods can fight back. Think colorful, think vibrant, think fresh. Blueberries, for instance, they're like little brain superheroes, packed with antioxidants. They protect your neurons from damage and may even improve communication between brain cells. Leafy greens like spinach and kale, full of vitamins like K and folate that help slow cognitive decline. Then there's omega-3 rich fish, like salmon or sardines, that feed your brain the healthy fats it needs to stay sharp and focused. And don't underestimate the power of hydration. Even mild dehydration can cause fatigue, brain fog, and confusion, and many of us over 60 simply don't feel thirst the way we used to. Keep water nearby throughout the day. Herbal teas, fresh fruits, and even broths can help, too. Now, none of this means you need to overhaul your diet overnight or give up your favorite comfort meals. It's about adding in the good stuff, bit by bit. Maybe it's a bowl of berries with breakfast, a handful of walnuts for a snack, or swapping white bread for whole grains. These tiny shifts, they stack up day by day. And while food feeds your brain, there's something else that protects it in an even more profound way: calm. We live in a world that moves fast. Even in retirement, there are still things that press in: health concerns, family stress, news cycles, constant noise, and chronic stress. Left unchecked, doesn't just weigh on your mood. It damages your brain. It shrinks areas involved in memory. It disrupts sleep. It clouds decision-making. But again, the solution doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as giving yourself permission to pause. Every single day, take a moment to breathe deeply, intentionally. A slow breath in through your nose and a longer breath out. That tiny shift calms your nervous system. It tells your brain, you're safe, you're okay. And in that moment, you begin to lower stress hormones, improve circulation, and even boost focus and memory. Some people find peace through prayer, others through meditation, journaling, or sitting outside with a cup of tea and letting the wind wash over their skin. Whatever it looks like for you, make space for it. Make it sacred. A few minutes of quiet is not wasted time, it's healing. And here's something that often surprises people. The simple act of gratitude has been shown to improve brain function. Writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day, no matter how small, can shift your brain chemistry, lift your mood, and strengthen those neural pathways tied to emotional resilience. It's free, it's simple, and it works. So when you put it all together, movement, mental stimulation, sleep, social connection, nutrition, and stress management, you're not just building better habits. You're building a better life, a clearer mind, a more confident you, a future that feels vibrant, not limited. And yes, some days will be harder than others. That's just part of being human. But don't let a slow day make you feel like you've failed. Progress doesn't have to be loud or flashy. It can be quiet, gentle, steady, like choosing a walk instead of the couch, or calling a friend instead of scrolling, or drinking water instead of another coffee. Those choices matter, and you matter. You're not too late. You're not too old. You're just getting started. I've seen people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s completely transform how they think, feel, and live simply by embracing the power of habit. Not because they were chasing perfection, but because they were ready to feel better, to feel themselves again. So if something here resonated with you, if even one of these habits spoke to your heart, hold on to it. Try it tomorrow, then try it the next day, and keep coming back, not because you have to, but because you deserve to. Before you go, I'd love for you to leave a comment below. Tell us what you're struggling with or what habit you're excited to try. This is a space for support and encouragement. And you never know, your words might help someone else feel a little less alone today. And if this video helped you, even just a little, give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe for more simple, practical ways to live your healthiest, happiest life, no matter your age. Here's to strong minds, open hearts, and the joy of living well every single day. You've got this.